Hi, I'm Alex McCord and welcome to The Real Deal on thestir.com. Today we are discussing the grand finale of I Dream of NeNe, The Wedding. And what is up with all these housewives? What's coming next? Are we ever going to see another wedding spinoff? First, let's talk NeNe. We finally got to see the big wedding, the remix. It happened in June, we saw it in October, and here's what stood out to me. First of all, I have to say, I hate it when I'm watching any sort of reality TV and I get distracted by sloppy editing. It happened a few times this episode. Number one, this was a 2-hour special and it's going to be broken up into 1-hour chunks for repeats. But guess what? At the 1-hour mark, suddenly I'm seeing credits in the middle of somebody's conversation. Come on, you guys couldn't do a special 2-hour chunk for the premiere? Don't show credits in the middle of the show. Second, how long has the millionaire matchmaker Patti Stanger been on Bravo? Longer than Atlanta, that much I know. Both Bravo and True Entertainment, the producers, apparently forgot that her name is Patti Stanger, not Patti Stranger. She's not a stranger to us. We know who she is. Good for her for calling both Bravo and True TV out on that misspelling. Third, I call BS on NeNe not knowing that the boys had a bachelor party planned. I mean, come on, she is an executive producer of the show. She would have seen the location agreements. She would have seen the show shots. She would have seen how many numbered releases were on deck that day. She knew that strippers were happening. But I must say, as Atlanta is the franchise that I am the least familiar with, I had no idea until I saw the Ebony magazine interview of last year that NeNe used to be a stripper herself. Now I know what she meant when she said she could have done it better. And you know what? Without having seen her in action, I think she's right. Next, for some comic relief, let's play Let's Screw Marlo Hampton. Oh boy, we see NeNe's hand as an executive producer once again. Clearly she is not getting along well with Marlo the Bridezilla maid, and it shows she was set up by a pro in a very good edit. First, we see Marlo blathering about how she can't sleep because she's the creative director of the wedding while she's getting her hair and makeup done at home. Then we see her say that she's the LeBron James of bridesmaids, but she can't even pick up the dry cleaning on time. Meanwhile, the rest of the bridesmaids are shown doing useful things. Marlo is apparently only good for drama. Whether she is bursting in on the bride's private moment right before the wedding to complain about her own dress, I mean, who does that? Even when she's doing something fun, she's made fun of, like throwing rose petals drunkenly on the marriage bed. But again, it all comes back to bad friend, but great reality TV castmate. Next, there have been only 2 times that I remember that I was genuinely moved and touched and I really cared about what was going on in this entire series. They both happened this week. Let's discuss. Number 1, Greg signed the prenuptial agreement. Now, it didn't touch me that he signed the agreement. That's not the point. It was he didn't realize how much the gesture meant to NeNe, and that's why he did it. Guess what? Let's have every married person in the world take Greg's advice and do one thing today that even if it means nothing to you or it even irritates you, but it means the world to your spouse, the world would be a better, happier place. Let's all go do that today. Second, Kim Zolciak not only came to the wedding, but made up with NeNe in front of everybody. Now, this is a deal that Bravo and Andy and everybody were trying to broker for years, ever since those two started feuding. That NeNe was able to make it happen on her own spinoff shows either that it was truly genuine or that she pushed really, really hard for it. Either way, it was incredibly touching and I appreciated it, particularly the way Kim lied through her teeth to Phaedra about being pregnant, but spilled the bun beans immediately to NeNe. See, even when it's poignant, there's drama, kids. Now, a few behind-the-scenes notes. What's it like to attend a wedding filmed for reality TV? Well, at NeNe's wedding, as on Tamra's OC wedding, you see that the recognizable guests are up and down the aisles and in pockets so that the cameras can focus on them more easily. Normally, guests sign releases, turn in their phones, cameras, anything with a recording device as they walk in the door. And that works with about 90% of the guests, but there's always somebody who sneaks in a camera. But in answer to a Twitter question, any Bravo celebrities who attended would have had to have signed a separate release for that day. If you are under contract to Bravo for another show, that means nothing about you appearing on anybody else's show. There is no blanket permission slip to use your footage in every single episode of every single show. Meaning, Marisol Patton, Gretchen Rossi and Slade, Jill Zarin, Patti Stanger, Stranger, would all have had to sign releases. Now, by the way, isn't it funny that last week Jill and NeNe were together in my Real Deal episode because of the gossip pages? This week it's for a perfectly legitimate reason. Jill attended the wedding. Next behind the scenes point. I was surprised, and not in a good way, by NeNe's manager. He said that because paparazzi were in the lobby, NeNe and her $58,000 dress had to take the service elevator downstairs and go through the kitchen to get to the wedding. Why did he do that? We saw when NeNe had her little panic attack right before she walked down the aisle that she had a hiding place outside the ballroom. Why didn't he have her put the dress on down there? Go through the kitchen in a bathrobe. Even if you have to put up screens to get her into the dress right outside the door, that is better than getting barbecue sauce, potentially, on a $58,000 dress as you're going through the kitchen. Finally, let's talk weddings by Bravo. I'm beginning to think that there have been a few too many weddings by Bravo this fall. Holy moly, let me explain. The first major Housewives wedding back in the dark ages was George and Lori Peterson at season 3, Orange County. We then had a 2-year break before Bethany's wedding. Bethany Frankel, that is. After that, we had about 2 weddings a year, sometimes 3, but not that many. Okay, fast forward to today. We are on wedding number 4 of 5 in 60 days. That's a lot of weddings, people. First, we had Tamara Barney and Eddie Judge. Then we had the couple that Andy married on Watch What Happens Live. Then we had Adriana Demora. This week we have NeNe and Greg. And we're not done yet because we have Joanna and Roman back in Miami. That is 5 weddings in 2 months. That's a lot. So what do you think? I mean, the ratings are showing they're kind of going down here, people. Are you tired of weddings? Please let me know what you thought in the comments. Is it time to put down the bouquet? For now, I am Alex McCord. You're watching The Real Deal on thestir.com. See you next time.